Today's panelists feature 6 strong and well-respected leaders, also women. Marianne Sigler, Stephanie Barter, Katherine Sassine, Kerry Douglas, Melanie Harris, and Katie Hulgrave. I think if you look through each of the women's careers that are up here, what you'll notice is it's more about they got their job done and they did it right and they did it well more than anything else. So with that, I will turn it over to Katie to kick it off and start the panel.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So Platinum has had women in leadership positions from the very first days. As I mentioned, Stephanie Barter joined in 1996. Eva Kolowski, who I'm guessing many of you know, was our very first general counsel. She joined the firm in 1998. Kerry, you like Marianne, you have a very unique perspective where you're deep into Platinum, but you see sort of the broader organization as well. You've seen people succeed, you've seen some people fail. What personal attributes do you think do really well at Platinum, and what are some that don't do so well?
There's variances throughout, but I think that overall, people that can come in and first of all listen and read a room. I think it's really important to have a high EQ to be successful here. Being open, being friendly, kind of finding and being a little bit vulnerable. I think our leadership group, and even your peer groups are here to help and are more willing to help people who are open and transparent in what they're doing. And I also think that makes for better work.
My concept of that is we have a no blame culture, and I'm the person who balances the books and looks at math, but I'll tell you in Platinum 1 + 1 is generally greater than 2. Because people work together and it's a team that tries to do it. People work off other people's successes. You don't have people trying to take credit.
I think Platinum's a special place in that we have expertise in every step along the M&A process, from business development, M&A finance, capital markets, the ops teams, the post-close ops teams. No one's ever working alone at Platinum, and being successful at Platinum comes down to being able to work collaboratively with your teammates.
It is interesting because actually the most talented person on paper can fail at this organization if you aren't willing and able to find that cultural fit inside the team. It is not your history, it is not your resume that will make you successful here. It is absolutely your ability to be a team member.
Good people really thrive here because there are no limits. But I feel like sometimes that doesn't appeal to people. Some people want to be told what to do. So I'm curious, Stephanie, going into an environment that has no limits, what did that do for you? It seems like it worked well.
This is a place where you have to define the path yourself in many cases. Doesn't mean that we don't have clarity on hierarchy and jobs, but the organization is flexible enough that people are allowed to technically make their job, make a job that does not exist today.
I don't believe in limits. I do believe in goals. I've been in lots of places where people might look at me and assume they could put me in a box and there's some limit to what I can do. And so no limits has been a credo to me, and that's why I think I'm so excited to be part of this family since I was born, because I had to say, I'm not going to take your limits, world. I'm going to set a goal and I'm going to go after it. But if I can stay competent and confident, then why should there be a limit?
Platinum gives opportunities for people to do so many different things. The first couple of projects, I'm like, are you sure? I don't know anything about that. He says, you'll figure it out. It's that type of encouragement where people give you and kind of push you out there, outside your comfort zone, that you will tend to rise to that occasion.
At the end of the day, I invested in myself. When I didn't know something, how did I figure it out? I read, I learned, I challenged myself to try to understand. Opportunities don't come to you. You make them because you yourself have learned something that allows you to see around the next corner. You have a new idea on how to tackle something.
Something I've heard you all sort of say is when you didn't know how to do something, you often leaned on someone to help. Were there people or were there mentors that helped you along your way?
In my experience, your mentors may be episodic. You may need them for a particular problem you're solving or point in your career. They may actually be closer to you in experience. They've had a similar path to you.
And then meeting new people that are coming in the doors that are just, you gel with and you see that, they're here to work through the greater good with you. And all of a sudden you have this refresh, this excitement of the things that you can do together. So it's no longer a mentor, now it's this team kind of power, if you will, and it's exciting.
So Katherine, you joined the Platinum Group most recently. I'm curious what it was about the culture here that drew you here, and then what has kept you here.
I think really there's two things. Number one, I really do love what I get to do every day. I love learning about the companies we invest in, the people that built those businesses, their visions. And then number two would be the supportive environment that I feel like I have here at Platinum.
When things have gotten hard for you on your journey, where have you drawn from, and how have you continued on the path?
Someone once told me there's a reason the windshield is this big and the rear view mirror is this big. And that is because you really kind of look forward instead of backwards.
So I think about it, I try really hard to not get emotional about situations, because at the end of the day I realize it's not personal. Sometimes you make a mistake, sometimes things don't work the way you want, sometimes you don't get what you want, and I try not to really get myself all wrapped up in somehow it's related to me as a human. It's more an issue and you get past it.
Ultimately what I found, particularly I think in the last 10 months, is where there's a will, there's a way, and we're going to do whatever it takes to try and make sure we're successful.
I do think it kind of goes back to those words of being a little kid and hearing my dad say, you can do anything you set your mind to.
The reason all of us can do anything is made faster, more efficient, more effective. If we expand that to we can do anything and bring others in on the journey.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.